guys who I know there's a freshman who comes in and gives probably like 7 points a game. I forget his name. And then there's the young Colin Gurley kid who's what I believe a sophomore.
Yep.
He's kind of like the DeAllen Jackson of this team, where he's this the outside shooter, the guy who kind of runs the offense along with the experienced senior guard, and those were the Jackiebeck brothers when I was there. And yeah, I mean, these two teams are very identical. They play Mike Fuel Line ball. They shoot well from the outside. They play fast, and they're deep. And that's kind of been the story for Mount Union basketball since Fuel Line took over the program.
Yeah, actually, no, that was going to be the next thing that I brought up for us to talk about. I wrote, after the Marietta win, top 5 things to take a look at. One of them definitely was Coach Fuel Line. He's taken this program further and further every year. I really like the way he's made the most of this roster. It's a stacked roster, especially with the addition of Logan Hill, Chris Painter, who came from St. Vincent St. Mary. They're just examples of guys that have come in, given minutes, and all of a sudden you look and you say, hey, we have 3 power forwards. We have 3 centers, 3 guys that can play centers, and Coach Fuel Line's made the most of them. But you said Fuel Line ball. What do you think that means?
I think, like I said, it means fast paced. It means we're going to use 9 to 10 players every single night, and I think that's been the case really since he's been here. You might not be the best player that you're capable of being just yet, but he's not afraid to play freshman and sophomore and in double-digit minutes each night in key parts of the game. He will play the hot hand. I know he hasn't really switched around the starting lineup this year, but in years past, he's moved guys around from the bench to starting lineups. I mean, Freiga was a kid who started as a freshman sometimes, and now he's coming off the bench his senior year where he's contributing double-digit points, and just to have that kind of depth, that's Fuel Line ball. And they, like I said, he always has teams that that have the potential to shoot the lights out in the gym, and they've had good three-point shooter after good three-point shooter, always great guard play. They haven't necessarily always had a ton of height, which makes this Mount Union team pretty rare considering you look at their roster and there's multiple guys over 6'7", 6'8". I mean, a couple 6'10" guys there. But overall, it's a fast-paced game that Fuel Line likes to play. It's not uncommon to see Mount Union basketball scores end in the high 80s, 90s, or even triple digits. And like I said, that fast pace and that deep bench, it allows you to build a core of players who, if they stick around, you're going to have 4, 5, sometimes even 6, 7 guys who are multi-year lettermen by the time their senior year rolls around. And that's how you build a program that's sustainable, and that's how he's been able to win, regular season OAC titles, OAC tournament championships, and even a few national tournament games.
No, I personally think Devontae Friga is going to make the difference for this team playing off the bench. He's really like another starter off the bench, putting up 13 a game. He's the 3rd leading scorer. Something like Friga, what is one thing from this team that you wish the 15 team had? As a broadcaster.
As a broadcaster, I don't know. The 15 team was fun, but I guess one thing is there's more kids who can really throw it down on this team. I remember there were maybe 1 or 2 guys who could throw down some nice in-game dunks. It was really Garrett Ruffin, who, they were more of an outside shooting team, and they were all kind of guys, 6 foot. There was more like 6'4", like 3-and-D or stretch, 4, I guess, in Division III type players on this roster. Compared to back then, there was Jarrett Ruffin, who was the main dunk guy, and the rest of everyone else was a really good shooter. Where on this team, you have, Tanner Slack, who can really dunk. Anthony, even the kid from East Canton, Anthony Bott, I believe his name is, threw down a really impressive dunk. Obviously, Devontae can dunk. There's probably like 9 or 10 kids who can dunk. I've watched Devontae's vlogs. They have these dunk contests. They're very entertaining. This is a team as a broadcaster. I loved when guys could dunk. The 3 balls are fun, and the fast tempo is obviously enjoyable to call as a play-by-play man. But nothing's better than a slam dunk when you're on the microphone, man. It's the most adrenaline you can have to be able to add hype to an already very exciting play.
Yeah, great stuff. No, I definitely, Logan Hill, if he's getting a bucket, there's a 50% chance he's going to throw it down when nobody's looking. You talked a little bit about how impressed you were with the 15 team. They had some youth. I think this team has some youth, but they're obviously built around Nathan Barrow-Malone, Tanner Slack, Devontae Friga, and John Carroll. That's a senior group that does a lot for this team and has really led this team. I hope national games, even if they don't win a tournament or the OAC, I think they still believe they could and have the resume this season to get into national games. Noah, before I let you go, as a basketball fan, as a guy that just loves sports, obviously the Kobe Bryant situation this week, very tough. Why did you have love for Kobe?
I think, I love Kobe why everyone else loved him. I mean, he was, great on the court, but it's his mentality on how he approached basketball, and as we found out after basketball, on how he approached business, on how he approached, creating media content. That Mamba mentality, that's something you can apply to all aspects of life. That's how, I attack my career, just the drive to be the best, to work hard. And something special about Kobe Bryant is he evoked emotion in every single person that came across him. You either loved him, you hated him, everyone respected him, but everyone was connected with someone like Kobe Bryant. The age of 41. So it was a tragic moment, obviously, but he was someone that everyone respected and everyone can really take away from the way he approached life and be better from it if you really look into how he did things. So.
Love it. Noah, thank you so much. We're ready for some match.
15 seconds.
Definitely save this clip.
Alright.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Alrighty, and welcome into the McPherson Academic and Athletic Complex. Billy Beebe, Jericho Goski here with you for some OAC action on this Wednesday night. The Raiders set to take on their rival of John Carroll, traveling all the way from University Heights to challenge Mount Union, coming off that huge win last week against Marietta. A struggle win Saturday, but they got it done versus Wilmington. And here we are watching the Raiders going at John Carroll, who in years past have given them fits. Really been the team that Mount Union's looked up to and a team to pass. However, a big win earlier this year at John Carroll makes the Raiders the top dog this year. They're second in the OAC. They're challenging Marietta. Let's bring in the second guy in our team, Jericho Goski. Jarrett, a big matchup tonight. I just talked about it. JCU, all their losses have come in the OAC. They come here tonight trying to avoid that.
Yeah, so Bill, the Blue Streaks are definitely looking for an OAC win tonight here at Mount Union. It's a classic matchup between Mount Union versus John Carroll. It's going to be a great game. A lot of heart in this game today.
Yeah, Jarrett, you're right. This is a heck of a matchup, a heck of a rivalry to get these two together. In years past, the Raiders have had a hard time going to John Carroll and getting a win. Not this year. A 20-point win for them at University Heights. Let's talk about the Blue Streaks for a second. Man, the OAC is competitive in general. They're fourth right now. Really does not look good for them to be all their losses be within the conference.
Yeah, Bill. The Blue Streaks are now 5-5 within the OAC, as the Mount Union Raiders, the Purple Raiders, are 9-1. John Carroll just needs something to get on the right track, but at the same time, Mount Union is just on fire lately, and I don't see it stopping anytime soon.
Yeah, good points. I will also acknowledge, though, that 5 of those losses, or in the 5 losses, the 3 in a row, the tough stretch for John Carroll, Jared, they had to play us. That was a home game, but they still had to play us, who clearly the Raiders are well proven this year. They had to play Marietta, who we all know is top dog in the OAC year to year, and I believe Heidelberg, who the Raiders lost to, was the other team they took a tough loss to. However, just talked about it. Great interview with Noah Hiles. Really enjoyed reminiscing with him. He taught me a lot of what I learned, so it was great to catch up with him and even have him admit in the strides that I've made as a broadcaster. Always fun. Before we talk Kobe for a second, Jarrett, more exciting news. for Mount Union this week after the Marietta win. Their first top 20 acknowledgement. Now, the AP is different than D3.com. Those are two different things. For instance, most of football season, AP had Mount Union at 2, and after a while, D3Football.com had them at 1. So there's differences. Mount Union basketball enters the top 25 in the nation. They get to 20. First time since 2015. Joe Mertens wasn't even broadcasting, never broadcasted a top national team, Jarrett. That's a good honor and a good boost for these guys.
Billy, just like how you said, it's a great honor for Mount Union. I think this is also just a boost. They just come into this game knowing that they've worked for this ranking, and they're just going to do everything they can to keep it and rise it.
All right, Jared, real quick, obviously tough news this week with what happened with Kobe Bryant. Noah mentioned it. This is a guy that I think sports fans in general love. I'm extremely proud to wear my Kobe retirement shirt tonight. This is just someone I enjoyed watching growing up, and obviously this is a true tragedy. I think a lot of people identify that. I thought he was an incredible basketball player. You can read up on the Dynamo now, umudynamo.com. We wrote a story on how people our age, about probably 18 to 25, if you're talking Kobe, you're talking number 24, not number 8. So I thought that was interesting to write about. Great player, a true champion, and for a guy that wanted to be like Michael Jordan, he came pretty close. But Jarrett, just your thoughts on Kobe?
Kobe's legacy will live on forever in the basketball community. Just one heck of a player. If people that don't even watch basketball know Kobe Bryant, that's
right.
Just how much he meant to the game. Just overall, he's just a great character to have behind an organization like the NBA.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think what hurt a lot of people is how excited we were to have Kobe Bryant around for the next 30 years. So definitely a tough time for a lot of basketball fans, and we're saying prayers for everybody involved. There are 9 people involved, so we pray for all 9 of the families, and there's 9 lives taken. So probably though we'll get back to basketball here tonight as the Purple Raiders about set to take on the John Carroll Blue Streaks. As when the national anthem plays here, we'll just let you listen in and take that in, as the sports information did do a nice Kobe Bryant tribute earlier tonight with just some audio, just some good quotes, Jared. I think for me over the past couple days, I think that's what has been most interesting. Stories from people are awesome, different people that talk to him, but his quotes are incredible. Just the amount of times that he sat down and talked for like an hour, 2 hours with anywhere from Jimmy Kimmel to GQ Sports to Business World to everything, I think that was just so interesting to listen in on that.
Very influential player on and off the floor.
All right, lean into the national anthem here. Welcome you in, 91.1 WRMU and the Mount Union live stream. Make sure you follow us, WRMU_sports. Billy Beebe, Jarek Golgowski, about set to get into some OEC basketball action. Alrighty, and a great rendition of the national anthem, actually by Coach Mike Gregg for the Raiders. So one of the assistant coaches just killing it. I mean, that was really good. So an excellent start to this one. Again, Billy Beebe, the voice of the Purple Raiders, back here on 91.1 WRMU. With me tonight, Jarek Olgoski, going to give a little insight into the excitement of this game. Jarrett, there's a lot to break down with these guys. We know it. JCU built around these two twins, the Berger brothers. These two are anywhere from 15 to 22 points a game, Jimmy and Ryan. Ryan's having a better year this year. Jarrett, but break down the starters overall besides the Berger brothers.
So besides the Berger brothers, Billy, we have Sean Flannery, guard, senior from Westlake. He is averaging about 9.7 points per game and 5.8 assists per game. We have Jackson Sertan, junior guard from Medina, that is averaging 15.4 points per game. And then we have Emmett Chamber, freshman, forward, sophomore from Olmsted, that is averaging 8.3 points per game and 4.9 rebounds per game.
All right, so thank you for that, Jarrett. Definitely the guys to watch, too, the Berger brothers. Jimmy and Ryan, both from St. Ignatius High School. If you know that community well, the game-winning shots, just the idea that these two guys playing together, doing big things together, I think definitely a cool story. And now in their senior year, leading this team and doing big things for this team. For the Raiders, you know them, you love them. Big John Carroll, Braden Poole, Colin Gurley, Tanner Slack, and Nathan Bauer-Malone. Jarrett, one thing we'll have to watch. I was worried about coming into the school year, basketball season-wise. They have a two-guard set with Gurley and Bauer-Malone, but they have made the most of it. Bauer-Malone, definitely your number one, not just scoring, but running the offense-wise, while Gurley's going to do big things on the catch and shoot.
Yeah, Bill, so while Gurley's outside causing havoc on the outside of the arc, this is when Nathan Bauer-Malone will cause havoc inside and make other people's double team him. So that opens up other opportunities for other people on the floor.
Yeah, and we know Gurley, he'll come around the corner, catch, doesn't matter who's in his face, how close, he's going to launch one. And like you said, it is going to cause havoc for the other team's defense to try and scramble and take it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome inside 91.1 WRMU and the Mount Union live stream as the Raiders tip. The ball goes to Sean Flannery, and we are underway. Flannery over, we'll get the Berger straight right now. Ryan Berger, number 22, up, off, Carroll grabbed it, lost it, and Bauer-Malone gets his tip. It's already a whistle. Not sure what the call is, but Slack will take it back on the other side of the key, looking to get it to Bauer-Malone. And that is a matchup to watch all night, is Bauer-Malone and Flannery. As Poole tips it, grabs it back after the Malone miss, but Flannery on the inside. As the streaks begin to push, first shot up and off as Colin Gurley grabbed it. Jarrett Flannery at 5'10", the senior out of Westlake. He's one of the shorter guys on the court, but he is fast and he is scrappy.
Yeah, Bill, so a lot of these guys are pretty small compared to the Mount Union, as Mount Union has a lot of height on John Carroll, but the speed does play a factor.
Yeah, a lot of the Raiders, like you said, they do have the height, but we'll see how that advantage can play out. The Berger brothers a little bit faster, breaking it down even more as a push to the inside, laid up and a fouling off. That was Emmett Chambers putting it up. Jarrett Jackson Sartain out of Medina, a shooter. And Medina High School, he is here too. I believe he owns the record for most threes. I don't know if it's in school history or one season, but Sartain has been excellent. And he's at 15 per game. As I said, Ryan Berger's had a terrific year at 19. Jimmy, he's had some huge games, but he's also had some games where he struggled a little bit, so he sits at 13 a game. However, that sounds like Friga, Bauer-Malone, and Gurley to me, so we got a heck of a matchup coming. Up the floor comes Bauer-Malone after Chambers only hits one of his free throws. Flannery playing tight defense, aggressive defense, puts a body into him, and they'll call the foul immediately. Jarrett, there's aggressive, and then there's just plays like that where you're just getting too close to him as he moves.
Yeah, Bill, just tight defense on both sides of the floor right now.
As it looked like John Carroll had played very well on Chambers, but got a bit of a tip of the wrist as he tried to put it in. Slack moves it, Bauer Malone, top of the key. Thank you for joining us here on 91.1 WRMU. Gurley launches corner, up, off. That's his second miss from 3. Jimmy Berger will save it and throw it back into Ryan, who's on the break. They'll slow it back down, top of the key, Jimmy Berger. Berger, stutter step, inside, Slack. Great defense, but he put it up and in, a high ball. Tanner Slack's a good defender, Jarrett, but that kind of shot, wow.
Just luck of the draw.
Now Bauer Malone, he's going to have a tough night going against Flannery, who's clearly showing he's going to give up no easy bucket. Slack, inside, kick, pull, launches one, rattling around, no good. Big John Carroll snags it, and the Raiders will keep it. I'm going to stick to blue streaks as much as I can tonight because John Carroll is a center for the Mount Union Purple Raiders, no mistake to be made. Bauer Malone will inbound on the right side behind the hoop to John Carroll. Malone back and forth. And there it is again, another foul called on Sean Flannery. And it's that chest, Jared. He stays so close that when Bauer Malone goes forward, he bumps his chest. But now he knows that's going to be a foul from here on out. He'll have to check out. I think that's his third. Maybe at least his second, if not his third. So Connor Fitzgerald will check in for Sean Flannery. Bauer Malone catches that on the low block. He'll pull up and fade on Berger. He nailed it. That one would make Kobe proud. I like that. Bauer Malone, a master of the fadeaway himself. Actually, a fall away as he usually falls to the ground after. 3-2 JCU to start this one. He'll kick. Fitzgerald, pull up, short 2, nailed it. That's a smart shot. Lost his defender at the 3-point line and drove forward. JCU back up 3, 5-2 blue streaks. Bauer Malone surveying the floor, top of the key. John Carroll hasn't dropped yet. He'll catch it up top and go down low. Bauer Malone, long 3, way short, and the blue streaks will snag it. Chambers to Fitzgerald, and the blue streaks head back on offense. It's a tough possession, Jarrett. They didn't move the ball much.
Yeah, but they need to start spreading the ball around more, just trying to get it to open hands.
Gurley will get the rebound and now push it. Bauer Malone, good move inside, laid it up and it got blocked. Jimmy Berger with a heck of a move tracking Bauer Malone like that. Fitzgerald moving all around. He pulled up like he was going to shoot, but pulled it and fall for it. Now Jimmy Berger going aggressive on Bauer Malone. Berger at 6'4", he's the taller Berger brother. Bauer Malone at 5'10". So, Jarrett, when that defense comes down the floor and Bauer Malone about 4 inches, 5 inches shorter, that's a tough matchup for him.
Billy, it is, considering the height difference and just trying to get down there, but also, as you said before, Bauer Malone does have a lot of speed with him. Keep up with him.
I've also noticed, I think just style of play-wise, as JCU will throw it out of bounds here, the Raiders get it back as Devontae Friga checks in along with Logan Hill. It just style of play-wise, John Carroll's going to be more aggressive. They'll back you down. They'll go hard at you. The contact is there. For the Raiders, they're going to be shifty. Picks, screens, jukes, fadeaways. As Friga comes down the floor, kick, right corner, Bauer Malone, in and out. Hill's going to tip it, grab it, stay aggressive. He'll need you to get the ball back, and the Streaks get it. Up the floor comes Jimmy Berger. Into Ryan. Ryan, nice fake. The Raiders not falling for him as Jimmy pulls up short, but Fitzgerald will rebound it. He'll drive inside. Gurley kind of faked him out on defense, but the Blue Streaks lay it in, and a timeout by Coach Fueline. All right, Jarrett, 7 points right now for the Blue Streaks. Not too crazy as the Raiders only have 1 bucket. Let's focus in on that. What do you see offensively that Mount Union is struggling with?
Billy, I don't know if it's more offensively with Mount Union, but the Blue Streaks are playing incredibly aggressive defense at the moment. As you can also see, there's many whistles already called for the aggressive defense. And I don't see them letting up anytime soon, but still, we'll see what comes.
Yeah, they go aggressive. They top of the key immediately. Bauer Malone's catching the defense. Like you said, Flannery was being so aggressive, got called twice and had to hit the bench just because there's too many. And it's starting to affect possibly the Raiders not seeing this often or at all. Up the floor, Bauer Malone. Jimmy Berger, like we talked about, the height and wingspan advantage at 6'4", guarding him. Hill turns, got it blocked, recovers, now he's losing it. He'll go to Friga. Devontae, a little bit of room, he'll fade away short. And there, whoa, a foul on the floor. Pete Moran can't believe it. Pete Moran, the head coach in, I believe, his 3rd year. Jardy took this program over from his dad, which is always an awesome story. We know it well around here with the Karras family. So Pete Moran taking a program that usually is at least top 3 in the OEC. Give inside Hill, tried to dunk it. He was short. I don't know if he got blocked or just wasn't quite hoppy enough to get that one. Now the Streaks will kick it around. Fitzgerald inside, floater, no good. Friga tipped it, he'll grab it, knock it back in bounds. They'll call it out. Delonte got caught in an awkward situation. You can also notice Friga's hand is wrapped up. If I'm not mistaken, I think he had his thumb dislocated, but he's clearly ready to go anyway. Berger, inbound Sartain, Fitzgerald, they'll move it all around the key back to Ryan Berger. Ryan, one-on-one with Colin Gurley. Now he'll shift and look to pass it off. Good defense by the Raiders to keep the ball on the outside right now. 15 minutes left in the first half as Fitzgerald drains one in Gurley's face. Makes it 10-2 JCU. 15 minutes left in the first half, a 10-2 score. Raiders just took a timeout, Jarrett. Something's got to change. Friga leans into one. There's your change right there. Devontae wants balls back after that shot. 10-5, and that felt like a hero ball shot.
Billy, you just made the comment about his thumb. Doesn't seem like it's bothering him too much now.
No, he caught the ball, dribbled, and leaned into it. And with 14:35 left in the first half, Ryan Berger will head to the line. He'll drain his first one. We'll see. It looks like the Berger brothers could dominate playing time for JCU. So he drains the first one, making it 11-5. John Carroll winners against Muskingum this past Saturday. They are first in the OAC with threes made, Jared, with 11. That's consistent, but the Raiders will definitely challenge that on some nights. Brown Malone over to Friga. If he's the hot hand, go for it. He'll drive inside, get blocked, no foul call. Now Hill being aggressive. He'll kick it out. Slack leans into a three, up and off. Ooh, it's a little bit wide right. Up the floor come the Blue Streaks, the Raiders. Short and off on a lot of shots tonight. As Berger will spin, kick it off on a floater. No good. That was number 14, Emil Hess, that missed it. Back down the floor, Gurley. He hasn't shot much since his first missed threes. He'll lean into one, nailed it. Speak of it, he got it. Colin Gurley misses his first two, only to hit one when they need it. 12-8, Mount Union gonna battle back here. Mason Trubisky. Yes, Mason Trubisky, as in Mitchell Trubisky's brother, on the floor for the Blue Streaks. He'll throw it up and in. Of course, Mitchell, his own guy. The 6'5" freshman from Mentor. I don't think they say it like that. It's Mentor, right? Yeah. As Raiders gonna kick it around down 6. Friga takes one step forward, leans and hits. See if they give him 3 for it. They do. So Devontae Friga, 2 of 2 from 3-ball range. Jared, that's key in a time like this.
Billy, as you see, the past points have been coming behind the arc. They haven't been able to work anything down low.
Jimmy Berger kicks it. Fitzgerald leans into one. It's going to hop around, no good. Yeah, that is concerning considering how many layups the Raiders get usually, Jarrett. As Gurley will go aggressive to the line. Blocked again. Emil Hess got him. And a couple subs coming out for JCU. The Raiders will get Braden Poulin, giving Tanner Slack a break.
Bill, it also feels that the past 3 times they've taken it into the key that they've been blocked.
Inbound into the outside, Logan Hill. Give Barrow Malone. We have an 11-14 trail for the Raiders to start this one. They've missed on a lot of their outside shots and been blocked on a lot of their shots down low. Gurley, step back. No good. Tipped. And finally, the Blue Streaks have it. The floor. Jimmy, an incredible ball handler, Jared. You can really see how fast he is changing hands and positioning. Ball kick over to Eric Hanna. Berger back and forth. Friga's on him. He's got good defense. They'll pressure it inside, laid up and in. The big man, Luke Hippler, 6'5" from Westerville, puts it up and in. 16-11. JCU. Friga gets off his pick. Long jumper. Nailed it. Feed the hot hand, I guess, right now as Friga nails another shot.
That wrapped up thumb does not look to be hurting him at all.
And with the way they started, Jerry, you got to just keep feeding him, right?
I believe so.
11:40 left to go here in the first half. Kick tipped by Gurley out of bounds. And Gurley doesn't necessarily have length on defense, but when he takes on these point guards, he's going to push them as hard as they can to make either a bad pass or dribble the wrong way so he can steal it. Inbounds to Hugh Brown as the Berger brothers finally separate. It'll be just Ryan in the game right now. Running out of time on that shot clock. He nailed it, but way out of time. Hugh Brown, the long three. No Kobe tribute to start this one, Jarrett, because you get 30 on the shot clock, so not much of a meaning for that number for Kobe. 11:20 left to go in this one. First half-wise, of course. 16-13 JCU. Now extra attention on Friga, who's hit a couple shots. He'll shake and bake. Oh, it's just off as Friga put pressure on after a good footwork at the top of the key. Hugh Brown, pull up, nailed it. Brown checks in and gives JCU what looks like an 8, actually they'll call it a 2. So 18-13 JCU. Poole moves to his right over to Slack. Logan Hill, he was gonna pull up, decides not to. Not much of a 3-ball shooter. It's Mario Kaywood getting ready to come in. Friga lost it, but maybe a tip on that one. Ball stays with the Purple Raiders. We thank you for tuning in. 91.1 WRMU, voice of the Purple Raiders. Billy Beebe with you. Jarrett Golgoski joining me for this OAC basketball matchup. You can follow us, WRMU_sports on Twitter, WRMU911 on Instagram. Kaywood, give, Friga pulls up, nailed it. Devontae Friga, another big 3. Makes it 18-16. Raiders cut the lead to 2. Jared, he's hot.
He is going off right now.
Ryan Berger tosses one wide right, and Friga will bring it up the floor on the press. He'll give it Gurley, slack, corner. Oh, just off. And I think more valuable than the idea that he's just hot right now, Jarrett, they need these shots. They're struggling down low.
As we keep saying, Bill, they're working on their shots on the outside of the arc. These shots are not coming inside the paint. They need to look on how to penetrate the paint, get some easy layups.
At some points, eventually, Logan Hill finds a way to get on the scoreboard to start. He is not there. John Carroll did not score when he was in, and that's why the Blue Streaks have forced the Raiders to shoot. But they have found a way to scrap above it. Turnover by the Blue Streaks sets it up. 18-16 Mount Union. Down 2. Friga, line, lane, up, in, foul. Devontae Friga goes aggressive to get to the hoop, and he's fouled as he laid it in.
Once I said it, they need to work their way in the paint. He goes and gets an and one. Great play.
Well, that's the force of habit, isn't it, Jarrett? Now they're going to separate a little bit, and JCU has no choice but to spread their defenders out and cover the outside. First shot up and in for Friga. And the Raiders have a 19-18 lead, and we know they battled for it. A 1-point lead for Mount Union with 9:43 left to go here in the first half. They'll stick with Gurley, Poole, Slack, Kaywood, and Friga. Jimmy Berger back in. Ryan Berger still in, and Jackson Sartain checks back in for John Carroll. I know Jackson Sartain well, and native of Medina myself, so I remember he done some really good things back in high school, and it certainly earned him a chance to go to JCU and play for the Moran coaches and definitely make a difference. $9:23 left to go in the first half as the Raiders up 19-18. Jarrett, shooting-wise, take me through like a little bit of what the Raiders and Blue Streaks have battled with.
So, starting with the Purple Raiders, field goal percentage right now is at 30, going 6 for 20. But their three-point is 4 for 13, so they've only made 2 inside shots at this point so far, as the Blue Streaks are 7 for 15 and 1 through 5 on the outside of the arc.
Good stats there as Friga dribble lane miss. Now Jimmy Berger going to try and return the favor on the other end. He'll miss but get fouled. Joe, that's an interesting stat you threw out. Only 2 buckets in the paint to start this one going down low. A lot of these shots, they've kind of been forced to take threes.
Like I was saying, the hot hand was outside the arc. They had to feed it, but I could definitely see them start working their way inside the key now.
Let's see what the Raiders want to do now. Friga's going to check out for Nathan Bauer-Malone. Fitzgerald checking back in for the Blue Streaks. It'll be Berger, Sartain, Fitzgerald, and Luke Hippler as the second free throw goes up and in. JCU back up 2 points. Bauer-Malone takes it up in the backcourt. He's got 2 points thus far, just the 1 jumper. Gurley, not much for actually being a point guard, Jared. He likes to catch and shoot. Here he is now. His footwork is what gets him those shots. Tough floater, but nice touch. Colin Gurley lays it in and ties it at 21. JCU inside, blocked, Fitzgerald, they'll give it over to Bauer-Malone. Raiders, a 3-on-2. Bauer-Malone sets his feet, he was gonna pull up, he's gonna stop, get it knocked away. But Nathan will collect himself. Over to Slack, back over to Poole. Gurley leans into a tough one, nailed it. Colin Gurley, the sharpshooter, the tough shooter, hits that one to make it 24-21. Timeout by the Raiders. All right, Jared, the Raiders have a 3-point lead as they've gotten settled in defensively. What is it John Carroll does coming up the floor that they have to watch for?
Defensively, the Raiders need to watch for the multiple passes that John Carroll's been throwing down. They make about 3 or 4 passes outside the arc, and then they'll try to move it inside the paint. So they got to make sure they keep those passes and make sure they don't let up.
Yeah, it does seem like the Blue Streaks are going to come up the floor and then not dribble. They're going to move, and find their shot. Dribble once maybe, then move.
A lot of pick and rolls.
Ball movement key for any team. The Raiders, sometimes they just have that thing, Jarrett, where Bauer-Malone really likes to take his time, look, then make a decision either to try and go for the hole or pass it along. But definitely I think that benefits them at times to take a little bit longer to make decisions. .806 left to go here in the first half. Billy Beebe, voice of the Purple Raiders, with you here on 91.1 WRMU and the Mount Union live stream. Of course, we thank you for tuning in with us. Of course, we'd like to thank Owen Zimmerman back in the studio. He's doing a great job keeping us on, and Jarrett doing a good job in his first broadcasting appearance really since high school football last year, so good to have you back. As the Blue Streaks bring the ball up the left side of the floor. Sartain, step back, almost lost his footing, he passes it off. Ryan Berger inside, the floater's good. And Ryan Berger gets his third bucket of the day to make it 24-23 Raiders. Inside Kaywood. He lost it. Now he'll recover. He's by himself. Drive inside. Light floater. Tough shot. He missed it. Ball up and in. Jimmy Berger goes aggressive. A little bit of a Euro step there to put it high and have it fall. 7:15 left to go here in the first half. 24-25. Raiders down. Bar Malone, step back, no good. The tough shooting night continues for anybody besides Friga. Ryan with his own step back, nailed it. Ryan Berger hits for the Blue Streaks to give him a 4-point lead. It's always tough to watch the Raiders struggle after a timeout, Jarrett, because you know they're not going to take another timeout themselves.
Multiple bad calls coming for the Purple Raiders at the moment.
Now an offensive foul on Gurley. Got too aggressive dribbling. Back in comes Emil Hess. As Fitzgerald also going to ready to come in. Berger, Hess, and Sartain along with Fitzgerald right now. For the Raiders, Poole, Gurley, Slack, Kaywood, and Bauer Malone. Inside, Hess, up and in. Emil Hess, good lay-in. Bauer Malone over to Gurley. He'll try and cut inside. Instead, he'll pull up. His body shook everywhere, but he hit that one. And lead cut back down to 4 for the Blue Streaks. Ryan Berger catches a double team as he was dribbling. Give it to Sartain. Slack, great defense. He wasn't going to let Sartain get a shot off. Can attribute a lot of Sartain struggles to Slack. Ryan chucks one up. Berger missed it. And the ball will go back to Gurley. Purple Raiders take it down the floor. Nice shake from Gurley. He'll throw it up. Oh, they'll call a foul. Looked like all ball to me, but of course rooting for the Raiders on a play like that. Jarrett's starting to see that while Gurley's not necessarily a credited ball handler, it's his footwork that gets him his shots and layups.
Footwork, speed, and just able to keep control and fake out the opponents is what's helping him here.
Yeah, you do really see that second gear kick in for Colin Gurley as Friga and Logan Hill will check back in. As expected, not going to see John Carroll, the player, probably until the beginning of the second half. That's his usual. Plays the first 5 of the first half, first 5 of the second half. 5:43 left to go here in the first half. Raiders down 3 as Gurley missed his second one. Over to Fitzgerald. Connor Fitzgerald moving to his right. Sartain. Give Hugh Brown, who made a nice shot earlier. They'll keep moving it like you talked about, Jarrett. This ball rotation is incredible. 4 seconds, actually 8 seconds on the shot clock. Kick, Fitzgerald, he'll have to step into one, nailed it. Connor Fitzgerald now has 10 on the day as JCU goes back up 6. Gurley shook his man, hesitated, launches a 3, no good. Poole caught it, put it back in. 5-minute mark hits and the Raiders are down 4. Jimmy Berger inside, throws it up. Gurley bumped Hill. Berger caught it, put his own rebound up and in, and got a foul.
A lot of fouls here in this game already, Bill.
We're really starting to struggle a little bit on rebounds, Jared, as right there, Big John Carroll will check in for the Raiders. Make sure you give us a follow, WRMU_sports on Twitter. We'll keep you updated on a lot of stuff going on, but of course with the tragic passing of Kobe Bryant, we sent a little story out about his meaning to a generation at our age, about 18 to 25, just what we loved about him, why we loved him. And the main part of that, Jarrett, was we caught the second half of his career as what we remember most. So Kobe Bryant definitely valued by us college kids. Foul down on the floor. Raiders down 7. Don't want to let this thing get too out of control.
Bill, as you said, you don't want to get it out of control. They need to start working their way. The Blue Streaks have been working on keeping their defense out on the arc, which Mount Union was taking advantage of. And so now Mount Union is having to adjust their whole game plan.
John Carroll, free throw on the first shot, good. As the Raiders are in the bonus. Second shot, good for Big John Carroll. His first points of the day, both free throws. That's clutch for the big man. 36-31 JCU. Hugh Brown driving the lane. Good defense for Bauer Malone. I'm sure he's excited to be taking on a smaller guard. Berger taking Poole for a ride, up and in. That's a tough dribble to stay with there, as Braden Poole had to handle his defender wisely. Now Gurley back up the floor. He'll take a tough jumper and nailed it. I'll tell you this, Jared, if I had to give a description of Gurley to a non-Raider regular viewer, Gurley's just going to take tough shots and hit them. That's it. That's what it is.
That was the quickest pull-up I've ever seen.
Kid Brown in the corner, he hits. Lead back to 8 now for the Blue Streaks. Talked about not letting it get out of hand. It's going to take a defensive stop at some point. Poole for 3, he hits. Back and forth, back and forth. It's all about defense though, Jared. These guys need to stop. Fitzgerald over to Berger. Jimmy Berger stops, give back over to Fitzgerald. The dribbling and passing continues for the Blue Streaks. Brown, catch, tough shot, short. Gurley's gonna have it on an open break. He's gotta beat Fitzgerald. He'll come around, lays it up, missed it. Good touch, I thought that one was gonna go in. As the toss from Jimmy to Ryan goes off, Braden Poole collects. 36 for the Raiders thus far, they're down 5. Dump inside, John Carroll the player, up, oof, nice touch. He's just taller at that point, he'll take his time and hit. Raiders have it at 3, Jared, good opportunity. And a timeout by Coach Pete Moran. Clearly a little stressed out by the idea that all John Carroll had to do was catch it on the low.
Yeah, his speed, no, his height, just being able to tower over these defenders is just obviously frustrating for the Blue Streaks. Going on that, the main guy that was guarding John Carroll, Emmett Chambers, with him and Flannery, both had 2 fouls early. Haven't seen him since, Bill.
It's a good point. Starting point guard Sean Flannery. It's possible Coach Pete Moran really wants to save Flannery for that second half. .231 left to go in this half. Mount Union down 3 right now to John Carroll. Taking a look at the OAC. Despite the big win last week, the Raiders still in second at 9-1 in the OAC along with Marietta. They're 14-3, so just a game back of the Pioneers. They will travel to the Banjo to take on Marietta at 7 p.m. on February 12th. Again, if you haven't heard, the Raiders get to 20th in the nation this week. It's a big deal, the first ranking since 2015. A fun fact, talking with Noah Hiles, Jarrett, this team, he said, more than that 2015 team, they can dunk. He said a lot more dunkers, a lot more guys going for the rim as compared to that team who pushed on outside shots.
The vertical on this team is crazy, as we've already seen many people get up and block shots and also try to attempt dunks. I definitely can see where he's coming from on that.
Tanner Slack, one of those guys. As a high jumper here at the university. Definitely has high jumped on a couple of his dunks. Fitzgerald, back and forth. Good dribble, but he'll kick it to Hugh Brown. Brown, a fearless pull-up, off. Good rebound by Colin Gurley. Reminder, halftime, we're going to send it back to studio. We have a quick music break, and when we come back about 10 minutes after, we'll get stats and more broken down to set up the second half. Poole, good block! And the ball, unfortunately, will stay with the Blue Streaks. Jared, that's a tough one-on-one, but Braden Poole stays with Jimmy Berger and blocks it.
Very tough one-on-one because we've definitely seen Berger pull out that quick move to get around the guy, but Braden did a great job and stayed with and got that block.
1:50 left to go here in the first half. Jackson Sartain with one bucket thus far, not a three either. Jimmy Berger one-on-one with Bauer Malone. He gets inside. A little bit of room, but he didn't take it. As Sartain launches a long three, he's short. A lot of those shots today were short and into a defender's hands. Nate into the lane, tosses it high, way high, and missed it. Back to JCU it goes. Minute and a half left in this half. Hibbler throws it high and missed it again. Both teams really struggling on offense. JCU up 41-38. Friga, he hasn't gotten many shots since he hit those couple. They'll kick Gurley, no fear. He'll lean into one and missed it. His defender was right on him. Blue Streaks bringing up the floor for the final minute left in this half. Berger to Berger. Ryan passes off to Luke Hibbler. Sartain, a little bit of room, but not much. Slacks on him. JCU starting to run out of options. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Up and off. And the Raiders get it back. 35 seconds left in this one. 30 on the shot clock. And Coach Fueline getting ready to check Mo Johnson into the game. Johnson, a quick ball handler for the Raiders, but usually gets in towards big lead games. Carroll goes up and gets fouled. So Big John Carroll will shoot for the Raiders with 7.9. So find the stat on it. Mo Johnson, 24 total minutes on the year, Jarrett. So this will definitely be a big opportunity for him. Colin Gurley's played the most. To put it in perspective, Johnson checks in with 24 total minutes on his resume. Gurley has 501. So Johnson getting an opportunity to try and shake things up on offense. We'll see how it works out for Coach Fueline. John Carroll missed his first, but hits his second. Same with Anthony Bott. His minutes are really low too. So some young guys getting the final seconds of this one. And you may think, oh, it's just the final seconds. Every bucket's going to count in a game like this. Berger up. Oh, it's going to be close. Looked like he got there in time though, Jarrett.
Great way to get to the hoop and get the final score in the half.
Yeah, he puts the lane, he beat bad. So it'll be 43-40, John Carroll at half. We'll send it back to studio with Big Owen Zimmerman. He'll get you set up with some music. When we return in about 10 minutes, we'll have stats and more right here, 91.1 WRMU. And welcome back to McPherson Academic and Athletic Complex. Billy BB, Jericho Goski back with you here on 91.1 WRMU. Great job by Owen Zimmerman back in studio, keeping us on at half. We appreciate you, Owen. A first half that really raised some eyebrows in multiple ways. The Raiders trailing 43-40, at one point down 10. Jarrett taking it through the first half stats. Who you really feel like was making the difference for the John Carroll Blue Streaks?
Blue Streaks, again, James Berger with 14 points, 2 assists. Just overall, second most time on the floor compared to his brother Ryan, which also had 9 points. He's also going to be helping the Streaks with their lead. And then we have Connor Fitzgerald, which came in for Flannery after he got the fouls and kind of just put up some behind the arc shots and made some and got some good points on the board.
Yeah, Barrow Malone was struggling against Flannery in general, Jarrett, and then really didn't improve when they had to take him out. So now Flannery gonna come in. He's gonna get 4 fouls to give, and he'll have definitely fresh legs. What do you think that matchup's gonna be, Barrow Malone versus Flannery?
We're gonna see Bauer Malone. I feel like is gonna come back into this half and just try to rejuvenate what he should have done in the first half. He didn't have that well of a half. He had 2 points, 1 assist. He wasn't on his game. I could definitely see him coming in here wanting to get at it, as we talked about before, as well as Gurley's was out on the floor for the whole time, so maybe they're just going to rock with him.
The Raiders' leading scorer was Devontae Friga. He was 5 of 8, 3 of 4 from 3. He had 14 points in that first half. The Raiders shot 14 of 35, 40%. 16 of 33, 48% for John Carroll. A 33% shooting performance from 3 from the Blue Streaks. The Raiders, same thing, 33.3%. They've taken way more threes though. 6 to be exact, and we are set for the second half of basketball here on 91.1 WRMU and the Mount Union live stream. Raiders will open up with the ball here down 3. Billy Beebe, the voice of the Raiders, with you. Jericho Goski alongside me. As a first shot by Bauer Malone up and in. Good jumper to start this thing off. Jarrett, you definitely see from minute 1, Flannery taking it a lot easier as Jimmy Berger answers back.
Can't afford any more fouls for him to sit out any more longer in the game, so.
Bauer Malone, nice back and forth. Juked him out. Gurley's open, but he didn't see him. Now over to Gurley. Inside, Bauer Malone, give Poole, it fakes his man out. Oh, undershot, no good. And the Blue Streaks have it. This offense gonna run a bit different with Flannery, and he's got that speed. It was interesting talking with Noah Hiles before the game. He said, from what he'd seen in his time as broadcaster here, so now with WHBC and Canton, he felt Coach Fueline really liked to change the starters up, play the hot hand. Not the case this season, Jarrett. This is the lineup we've seen since we got back in January.
Sticking to what they're doing best. They're 14-3 for a reason, and this lineup has a great deal of why they're at that.
Gurley stepped to his left, shot it, missed. Poole leaping up and tipping it in. And Gurley, again, all footwork and tough shots. Braden Poole, good help. Berger drives inside, floater just short. Ryan Berger missed it. Now Gurley has it. Oh, behind the back, good move. It's a 3-on-2, but he kind of lost it. Trying to go to John Carroll, but big John Carroll wasn't open. Lob caught by Carroll. Now he'll put it up and in. I didn't know if he could have had enough athleticism to lean like that, Jarrett, but still, as long as you can put the ball in the hoop, we're good here. 46-45, Mount Union with the lead. Drive inside by Jackson Sartain. Floater, no good. Tipped, and Bauer Malone regains it. Up the floor, Nate going fast. Flannery didn't want to touch him. Up and in. Bauer Malone takes a hit as he puts it in. And we are now seeing Flannery really take his foot off the pedal defensively. Berger, long 3, off. Blue Streaks down 3. Really feeling the heat of the Raiders catching up. Malone, nice pass. Poole fouled in. Braden Poole's playing athletic, he's playing fast, he's playing lengthy, and he's scoring. And John Carroll needs a break from it. The Blue Streaks and Coach Pete Moran need to regain some confidence, especially, Jarrett, it looks like right now the Raiders can't be stopped on the break.
Bill, as you said, they can't be stopped. This momentum that the Purple Raiders have just accumulated was crazy, going back and forth. As you can see, Bauer Malone came out this half hot. Getting a shot right out the back. His defense been great, and he's also been getting some open shots.
So 17-16 left to go here in the second half. 50-45, the Raiders have the lead. They're playing much, much faster off the break, and it's going to show the more they score. Braden Poole at the line for his and one to put the Raiders up 6. Poole nails it. Braden Poole puts the Raiders up 6. As John Carroll going to continue to search for answers offensively. On the cut, Ryan Berger, he'll give it inside Jimmy, up and in. Mount Union trying to not give up the and one there. All the defenders backed off and gave Berger room. So the Blue Streak stopped the little run by the Raiders there. Probably about a 6-5 run. Bar Malone back, fourth kick, Poole, he'll lean into one, he's confident, he nailed it! Braden Poole starting to find a way to just score. As he's hit 2 threes today. Berger, give over to Berger, ball got lost. Bauer Malone wants it. Flannery's going to pick it up in the corner but get high pressure. And he'll throw it off Nathan Bauer Malone. Jarrett, Poole's got the hot hand, and we can see him start to be more aggressive from every aspect of the offensive floor.
As you said, this was his second 3 made. He just had a tip in earlier. He's playing well defensively. He's just having a good quarter so far.
16-10 left in the half. Flannery's going to hoist one and hit. His first bucket today. And the lead cut to 4 for Mount Union. Bauer Malone dribbling back and forth, takes the screen. Nathan. Give Braden Poole. He twists, lost it. Flannery looked like he stepped out of bounds, but he'll lob it down the floor. Brewster. Oh, looked like John Carroll had a chance to stop. It's Chambers that dunked it. I thought John Carroll had something there.
Definitely looked like he was about to get a block or like a swipe or something.
Gurley has it, top of the key. Friga looks like he's getting ready to check in. Jarrett pointed out to me at halftime, sometimes the game flows, you just don't notice. Gurley steps back, up and off. You just don't notice sometimes. Gurley played the whole first half. Jarrett never sat. Chambers, step right to left, lays it in. And big Emmett Chambers ties the game at 54. 6'8" sophomore of Olmsted went to St. Edwards. Jarrett, that Raider timeout, what do we see in that momentum change?
It was a quick momentum change because we went from the Raiders right back to JCU. Just defensively, they're both playing well. The Blue Streaks just got some good plays right there, getting some blocks, getting some just inside shots on the Raiders.
We have 15:02 left in this one. Go ahead, Jared. Give me your favorite Kobe Bryant memory.
Favorite Kobe Bryant memory?
Anything stick out to you?
I know it's kind of premature. I loved watching the guy play his career when I was alive, but I'd probably say his last game, all the people that came out and supported him, just the way everyone even did everything. There was even talks that his 60th free throw, just it all was just so fun to watch. Just a lot of emotions.
Definitely. As Gurley catches it at top of the key. Nice spin move. He'll throw it up. Oh, just rolled out. Colin Gurley, nice move. As the Raiders going to have to step back up on defense in a tie game. Fitzgerald leans into a three, missed it. Now Friga on the break, up ahead to Gurley. He's got room. He will lay it in and get a foul. Oh, he really almost had a dunk there. And that's what, again, in that pre-game interview with Noah House, he talked about there are more guys than he has ever seen on this roster, Jarrett, that can jam at home. And I think if Gurley didn't feel the pressure there, he really would have put it down.
I had a quick thought that he was going to alley-oop it up to Tanner Slack there as he was trailing right behind.
And I think Slack definitely could get up for it. I'll say this, I know a lot of different shoes on this team. Andrew Carbon, who kind of gets time here and there, for sure has worn Kobe's every game I've ever seen him play here. If I'm not mistaken, I'm 90% sure he wears Kobe's every game. And just a nice time to just go through a couple of memories here and there, and just for a special player in a tragic situation. Ball up, off, and Barrow Malone will take it up the floor. He'll kick Slack, driving inside. A lot of room. Tanner up and in. He teased it. Tanner Slack almost had a big dunk, but a nice lay-in to put the Raiders back up 5. Jarrett, seems like it could be a game of runs here. 5 points for 5 points, back and forth.
Yeah, Bill, as you can see, they just keep going back and forth with points here.
Flannery hits. He's a little confident in himself now as he's clapping, giving it to Barrow Malone. There's two guys that are not known for necessarily defending, going at each other, so. Free up in the forecourt. Stop, look around, shoot, hits. Devontae should take every shot right now. That's his first shot of the second half. He nails it, puts the Raiders up 5. He's got 17 today. Fitzgerald, no shot. He'll tip it. Oh, Devontae put that one a little wide right of Gurley. But Coach Feuerlein gives him that clap, lets him know, hey, it's all right. We need to keep building this lead, keep moving. Sure, another tough stat to look at. Just not often are you going to see Logan Hill. Oh, it's 0. You're never going to see Logan Hill at 0. He just finds these quick, right as he checks in immediately. Nice little layups, nice dunks. He's athletic. He's got good height, and he's does a good job deciding when it's his time to be aggressive down low. Jimmy Berger will kick it back out to Ryan. Raiders up 62-57 with 12:47 left to go here in the second half. Step back by Flannery. Way off. There's a foul. Looks like it actually will be on the Raiders. .12:39 left in this one, 62-57. We talked about it earlier. John Carroll's 500 in the OAC. All 5 of their losses are OAC losses. They really need to win their OAC matchups. So Raiders moving the ball all around here. Give Friga driving hard, up and in. And I'm surprised there's no foul as Devontae Friga rolled in and hits. He's got 19 now. Berger, Kiv on the outside, Sartain, up, off. Hill has had that battle all day where he can't quite corral it, and it'll go back to the Raiders though. You notice that, Jared, a couple times, no rebound. He just has to, he's probably getting held a little bit, but Logan Hill's had to slap it back down on the floor.
A lot of physical contact in the paint, and it's going to be hard to rebound lately, as you can see.
Logan Hill, of course, a very credited player at Jackson High School. Eventually went on to play at Toledo, but transferred over with those Jackson roots. Coach Feuerlein coached there, and Here now making the difference. A nice lay-in. It's JCU down 5. Raiders 64. John Carroll 59. Rebound Berger. 11-12 left in this one. Ryan Berger over to Sartain. He'll pump fake. Curve a little bit and toss it short. But Ryan Berger catches and lays it in. Good defense by Tanner Slack, who forced Sartain to throw up a prayer. Back and forth continuing for both these teams. Gurley yet to exit in this game. In Hill, oh, he missed it. Went up and around and missed that one. But Logan Hill will go to the line now. Mason Trubisky fouled him. Shot up in, 10:37 left. Logan Hill, his first bucket of the day, surprisingly. Mason Trubisky will get a break. And Hill will hit his second shot up and in. As the Raiders up 5, Flannery will take it up the court. Right. Luke Hibbler has checked in for the Blue Streaks. Gurley one-on-one with Berger. Tosses it up and in. Logan Hill missed a block. Just back and forth, Jared. Everybody's going to get a bucket at this point.
Been a lot of back, like as you said, back and forth. 5 points here, 5 points there. And as you can see, John Carroll's now starting to play full press D.
They're really getting after guards as they cross half court. Friga, good pull in the corner. He loses it, ball's over to the left. Give inside Jimmy Berger, up and off. Gotta be careful, I know a lot of rules state that if you slap the backboard and make it rock, they'll give them the points. Logan Hill came flying in, and 9:55 left in this one, a 66-63 Raider lead. Jimmy Berger at the line. He will miss his first one. Make sure you download the WRMU app wherever you need to get it from. You can tune right into all the shows being aired. Of course, the live sporting events with WRMU Sports and more. Check out the Dynamo, umudynamo.com. Again, right now, a story on our generation's view of Kobe Bryant. Game recaps and more. And then, of course, WRMU_sports on Twitter for updates and stories. Berger drops it in. Hibbler gives Sartain. Nice lay-in, Jackson Sartain. Sometimes you know guys could be volume scorers like Sartain, Jarrett, but they just have to fit within the offense. We are tied at 66 here at the MAC. Gurley, pump fakes, didn't lose his man though. Great defense by Ryan Berger. He'll switch him off to Jimmy. Logan Hill got to get down low. Frege got room. He kicked, no look to Bauer, who passed it off. Bauer Malone, layup, no good, but a foul. Oh, Frege set Bauer Malone up for a 3 there.
Yeah, Bauer Malone decided to do a little pump fake and go to the key and came up with the foul at least, so that's good.
Tied at 66, Bauer Malone lays in his first free throw. Second one, good. Billy Beebe, Jericho Goski with you here on 91.1 WRMU. Raiders up a bucket, 68-66 with 8:51 left in this one. Berger, great handles, switching, cutting, throws it up and in. Jimmy can't be stopped. He's got 21 on the day. And we noted Jimmy has had a couple games this year, Jared, if you can believe it, where he's had under 10 as Friga catches in the corner, hits. Devontae on the catch and shoot. A timeout by the Blue Streaks. And what a night for the sixth man off the bench. Devontae Friga's been awesome.
His three-point game has been crazy in tonight's game. Just at this point, I believe he is 5 for 6 on three-point shots, which is a crazy good stat.
And I don't even know that that's necessarily what I would say his strength is, shooting from three. Colin Gurley's got 16, Braden Poole's got 13. The Berger brothers, Jimmy has 21 tonight for John Carroll, and Ryan has 13. Next best is Connor Fitzgerald, has 10. So the Blue Streaks have found their scoring in spurts. What do you think's going to make the difference here, Jarrett? We're coming down to the final about 5 minutes of play. We're at 8:15 now, but as we get closer to the end, what's going to make the difference for the Raiders to pull this thing out?
The difference maker, as we can see, Nathan Bauer-Malone has stepped up from the first half as he got about 6 more points, but not just that. In the first half, he only had 1 assist, and now he has 5. So he has had 4 assists in this one half. And if he just keeps on passing the ball to his open teammates, and as long as Brandon Poole, Devontae Friga, and Colin Gurley, and whoever else is out on the floor just does their job, I feel like Bauer-Malone will get it to him.
Billy Beebe with you here on 91.1 WRMU. Jericho Goski. As the Raiders up 2 points, 3 points, with 8:15 left in this one. Jarrett, we're coming close to the end of a good one. We still got 8 minutes left. That is a lot of basketball, though. Lob inside, Berger, a one-on-one with Gurley. Sartain, another floater, in, foul. Jackson Sartain starting to insert himself into this one. Jarrett, whoa, whoa, whoa. I misspoke, an offensive foul. All right, so the Raiders sustain a 3-point lead. My mistake. You gotta call me on that, buddy. That's you.
I was thinking the same thing you were.
71-68 Raiders. Friga over to Gurley. Gurley. Coach Fueline has pulled one today and not sat Gurley a minute, as he'll go short on that shot, but Poole regains it. Gurley moving it back around. That reminds me of Muskingum's lead player, who literally, Jarrett, plays every minute of every game for them. #1 scorer in Division III at about 30 points a game. Friga lobs one, short, and a foul. Not called on that one, though. Shot, here's goes Sartain. He's starting to get hot. Up the floor, Poole gonna move it around. We're at the 7-minute mark. That is the name I was looking for, Marcus Dempsey. Plays every minute of every game for the Muskies. Bauer-Malone fakes, toss, corner, Gurley, beat the clock. Oh, way short. Actually over, but Logan Hill grabs it and puts it in. That's what your big man's for. Give him a pat on the back after you miss like that. Mount Union back up 3, 73-70. Over to Flannery, ball moving all around. Sartain is the guy right now for John Carroll. Jackson Sartain, it says he has 6. I feel like he has more than that, but he might be right at 6. Flannery steps into one, he's short. He'll toss it behind the back, Berger. Oh, Sean Flannery caught it out of bounds, went behind his back, and Ryan Berger was waiting. 15 on the day for Ryan Berger. Jimmy, the leading scorer with 21, is on the bench right now getting a break. 6 minutes left. Friga drives, nice touch, up and in. Devontae continues to push the agenda. He's got 24 for the Raiders. Joe, what is it defensively for Mount Union right now, giving up these buckets? Sartain up and in. It feels like they're hanging with their man, but it might just be John Carroll more than anything.
It's back-to-back, just Mount Union goes down, makes one, John Carroll answers back. It's more about interior defense Mount Union needs to work on right now.
And there's your difference maker right there, Tanner Slack, getting ready to check back in. And we know what a defensive menace he is. 5:20 left to go in this one. Logan Hill, oh, barely off, but Poole lost it after he almost had the rebound. Jarrett, no pressure, but Tanner Slack needs to relieve this defense.
His defensive skills have shown throughout this game, and I believe he'll be able to lock down, and it looks like he is going on Sartain, which has been hot this whole half.
5:17 left to go in this one, 75-74. Raiders have done very well today. When called upon to either catch up or keep their lead, Jarrett, they've responded. However, the Blue Streaks have hung in this thing. It's their day. They want to keep it that way. They feel like they've really played well in every aspect. Just Raiders have hit shots consistently. Berger, spin move, up and in. He's getting his bench juiced up now. Up the floor, Bauer Malone. 5 minutes left in this one. He'll cut the floor, go down low. Lay-ins high, no good. Logan Hill puts it down. He trailed him, got it, and made sure it went right through the hoop. Logan Hill with the big jam. Corner, Fitzgerald nailed it. Raiders have to get back on defense. That's what matters. 4:35 left to go. John Carroll now leading, 79-77. Friga picked up his dribble, gave it to Slack. Gurley got a little bit of room. Launches no good. Fitzgerald will rebound for JCU. 4:15 left to go here in this one. Flannery to Berger. Berger back to Fitzgerald. And this is definitely their death lineup, Jared. I really feel like this is a lineup that is going to do the most damage. Jimmy moving to his left. He'll get Fitzgerald cutting the lane. Hill's with him. Lays it up, off, and got a foul. Logan Hill can't be more sticky on that one. I thought he played it well.
I believe so too. It's more just getting the fouls that JCU's getting or the lucky shots. The defense is there. Can't ask for better defense.
They have improved a little bit since this little run, but man, these floaters, these tough jumpers, they've all just been so good. Mark it 79-77. 3:56 left in this one. Connor Fitzgerald, his second free throw's good. He's got 14 today. Fitzgerald really does a lot for them off the bench, Jarrett.
Yeah, he came in for Flannery after he suffered 2 fouls in the first half, and he showed his worth.
Bauer Malone losing his defenders. The Raiders are down 3 as he catches a double team now. Give Friga. No hezzy, pull up, hits. Devontae Friga ties it at 80. Hey, all you gotta do is let your defender not know what you're doing, pull up and nail it. I think it was Fitzgerald on him there. If he had to guess anything, he was gonna move, and he hit.
This game is all about back and forth. We've been saying it all game. I definitely seen this one coming down to the wire. Both teams are consistently scoring. It's crazy.
A lot of ball left here, folks. 3:30 left in this one. Raiders tied with John Carroll at 80. My little brother, occupant of the John Carroll Blue Streaks hockey team. Jared, I'm trying to get some bragging rights, so.
Gotta do what you have to do.
3:38 left to go here in this one. Jarrett, we'll do a soft preview with 3:38 left. Your WRMU player of the game today for the Raiders.
Player of the game, I would have to say off the bench, Devontae Friga. At this moment in time, he's at 27 boards. I believe he's above 3 rebounds. So like he just came off the bench. He showed his worth. He did what he had to do to get them tied in this close matchup.
And good point there. We talked with Devontae last week. How do you feel about your new role? He said, it took some adjusting, you know. Being a senior, I'm pretty sure he's definitely one of the captains of this team. Coming off the bench, that's not always easy to handle, Jarrett, but I compared it to, and I think at points you just like the idea that there's guys in the NBA like Lou Williams, Jamal Crawford, that you can compare yourself to. We all love Lou Will. Jimmy Berger going hard to the hole. Good defense by Gurley. Tip, Friga, there he is, he's got it. Pushed by the Raiders, it's a 3-on-2. Bauer Malone inside, a high shot, rolls around, no good, but Hill will snag it. It's a battle for the ball, and a jump ball will get it back to John Carroll. That's unfortunate, but man, what an exciting 15 seconds there. Blue Streaks will inbound. Jarrett, from what we've watched, what is a good strategy for the Raiders going on here?
Protect the paint and make sure there's no wide open shots out in the arc. There's going to be a lot of pick and rolls, a lot of passing. Just got to make sure they're switching roles.
Flannery inside, Friga's on him, he's shifting. That pivot foot's deadly. Nailed it. Man, Flannery back and forth, looking to pass, turns and nails it. 82-80, John Carroll. Colin Gurley, a little bit of room, tough layup, no good. Hill, up and in, Logan Hill responds with a rebound and ties it back up at 82. The big man, who had no points coming into the half, he's built off that for sure. Berger, over to Fitzgerald, he's got room, he pump faked. Back over to Ryan, to Jimmy, inside, Hill's on him. Oh, Logan Hill gets called for the foul. I don't know who to bring up my complaint with, but just felt like he really stayed with him there.
Yeah, it looked like all ball to me there. Kind of a missed call right there.
And as Jimmy Berger set to go for his 24th and 25th point of the game. Charity's averaging, what was he at, 8? Or 13, I'm sorry, 13 on the year, which is low for him, especially with him and his brother at points playing well. He has picked it up and really made a difference. Hits his second after missing the first, so it's 83-82. That's how you want to set it up. Go ahead. John Carroll by 1. 83-82. Gurley's going to drive. Took his time and laid it in. Had to be patient there. And a whistle. I thought Gurley was going to get a tech, but then Fuel Line started clapping, so I guess is what it is there. 2 minutes left in this one. The Raiders now up a point, 84-83. Jimmy Berger, back and forth. Step back on Logan Hill, nailed it. Jimmy's deadly. He has been all day. I don't know if he picked this as a revenge game or what, Jared, but he is going off with 26 on the day. Bauer Malone, kick, Gurley's open in the corner, up, off, but grabbed by Friga. He's gonna give it back to Gurley. He'll step back, go to the hole, and lay it in. Hustle all around by these guys. And Mount Union up a point again. Minute 24. Jimmy. Oh, he cut through Gurley, but Friga blocked it. Gurley's got it. This crowd is going nuts. Devontae Friga swatted Jimmy Berger, who's been getting that shot all day.
Friga's looking for this ball.
Bauer Malone pacing it back and forth. Friga's hit some clutch shots, but Bauer Malone has been the man. Gurley driving inside, throws it up. He gets the foul. So Colin Gurley will go to the line now. The final minute of this one is going to be interesting. Make sure you follow us, WRMU_sports. There's no better place to tune into a game like this than 91.1 WRMU and the Mount Union live stream. Bauer Malone inbounds down low. He'll give it into Hill. Hill looking for a guard. He's got Friga top of the key. Trying to ice this thing. He lost it. Ball's loose. Gurley's got it back though. He's coming along. Colin Gurley cuts inside. Blocked hard. It was Friga that lost it, actually with that hurt hand, Jared. He tried to cross. And Luke Hibbler blocked Gurley hard, but hey, that's the layup he's been going for all day. Gotta stick with it. Inbound, Gurley on the side, picks up his dribble, he's losing it. Pressure's on, but he finally recovers. 2 seconds, 1 second, Gurley, high toss, short. And the ball will go back to the John Carroll Blue Streaks. Oh man. Timeout, John Carroll. All right, Jared, we can breathe for a second here. Man, Gurley goes aggressive in that corner. He took too much time to dribble, recover. Your thoughts on this final possession?
It's scary. It's going to the Blue Streaks right now. They definitely got to play some good defense. Not to point it out again, but Gurley still has not came out of this game. Played this whole game. Kind of shows for it with 20 points, but they just need the defense here.
There was a shot. I think it was the one he missed and Friga rebounded, maybe. It was a shot he had wide open. You really felt like he was going to hit. But Gurley's hit enough tough shots in his lifetime to make up for that little one. Final 35.9 left in this one. It should be at least one possession for each team. All right, so the Mount Union will go Slack, Friga, Bauer Malone, Logan Hill, and Gurley will stay in the game. Sartain, Hibbler, Berger, and Ryan Flannery for the Blue Streaks. Everybody's on their feet here at the MAC. Friga will take up Ryan Berger, who's got Jimmy. It'll be Colin Gurley, 30 seconds on the clock. Jared, you gotta think, even with that bounce, they might run out of time. Sartain, he's moving it around, over to Jimmy Berger. Logan Hill's on him, a mismatch. 24 seconds, inside, Berger kicks it, over to Ryan. Off, Gurley grabs it, he'll get fouled, and he'll go to the line. A defensive stand to end it. But with 16 seconds left and John Carroll shooting the lights out, this one's not over.
Yeah, this one's definitely not over. There's still 16 seconds left. A lot can happen still.
Yeah, Logan Hill's going to urge his team. Well, let's talk for a sec. Let's figure out if Colin misses or if Colin hits, how are we going to transition? Jarrett, that transition defense is the toughest.
Yeah, they definitely got to get right back on defense after anything that happens here.
And John Carroll won't even let Colin Gurley shoot his free throws. As the Raiders up 1 point with 16 seconds left in this one. Colin Gurley's been phenomenal, but ironically, it's going to come down to defense.
Yeah, defense is the biggest key here. As you saw, they put in Tanner Slack, probably one of their best defensive players on this team, just to hopefully guard that interior and that outerior shot, because they only need 2 points to win, depending on what Gurley does with these shots.
And for that last shot, everybody on the mat got on their feet. And really, these timeouts is all the break Colin Gurley's going to get. Marcus Dempsey of Muskingum plays every minute of every game. Nobody's done it this season for the Raiders. Jared, it'll be incredible to see 40 minutes on Colin Gurley's stat sheet. The sophomore out of St. Vincent St. Mary nails the first. And it's just, you can see it on his face. It's all attitude, all game. And attitude in a good way for sure. Gurley lines up his second one. Nailed it. So Colin Gurley, 12 seconds left. Flannery gets fouled by Bauer Malone. Just tuned in to 91.1 WRMU. Billy Beebe, Jericho Goski with you. Raiders up 3 with 11 seconds left. Inbound to Sean Flannery. Flannery over to his right. He's got room. Bauer Malone going to foul him. Seems like it's a strategy, so we'll see what the Raiders want to do. Flannery might be a poor free throw shooter. While Jimmy Berger's the hot hand. Timeout by the Streaks. Break it down for me. It seems like, from what we've watched all day, Jimmy Berger's the hot hand. However, a lot of his points haven't been threes.
Yeah, he hasn't been shooting much behind the arc. Someone to be scared for behind the arc would be like someone like Connor Fitzgerald. He's been pretty good up behind the arc. He's been shooting it. You're getting that three ball to fall down. So that is someone to look out for when it comes to the three ball.
Sean Flannery is 81% from the line, so I don't know what the strategy is here, Jarrett, towards the end. They fouled Flannery twice in a row. And it might have to do with, Uline might have preached to his players, hey, if they get a certain switch, they get a certain cut, end it right there. Stop the play. We'll play free throws if we have to, but if they get that pick they want, you have to foul them.
I believe they had fouls to give before giving them the free throw, so I feel like they were just kind of pausing the game for a sec.
And it's really going to mess with their head, right? You get an inbound, you get 4 seconds, and then you're fouled. Can't like that as a point guard or rhythm-wise as an offense. Here we go, the final 8 seconds here on 91.1 WRMU. Billy Beebe with you. The Raiders up 3 points. 88-85, and a timeout by Coach Fueline. I think at this point it's just to get a couple of these guys a breather. Friga, Gurley, and Hill have been in for a while, Jared. I think they've been in probably the past, I know Gurley has, but everybody else has been in at least 10 minutes.
Yeah, they're definitely just trying to, maybe he didn't like the game plan, maybe he is just trying to give them a rest, we don't know. But yeah, either of those two things is checking up on it. It's not a bad thing to do.
88-85 Mount Union up those golden points on John Carroll. We remind you to go ahead and download the WRMU app. Also follow us on Twitter, WRMU_sports, and check out the Dynamo. A lot of good stories up from people, writing about things like graduation, obviously the Kobe Bryant situation. Eight seconds left. Flannery throws the inbound before Berger's ready. Caught, shot in the foul. Ryan Berger's gonna go to the line. Friga. Hold on 1 second. Both teams look upset, Jared. I'm not sure what the call is.
I believe they're calling it an on-the-floor foul.
Yeah, A foul on Friga. Non-shooting. That is the best that John Carroll could have asked for. And it looked like Flannery actually threw it early, too. So 6 seconds left. John Carroll's going to try and do the same thing. Pete Moran is on the floor right now, talking with the refs. He doesn't like that spot. It's a little slippery. And a packed Raider crowd standing now. Been glad to see the student section get more and more attention and hopefully get better numbers over the past couple of weeks as the team's improved. Flannery almost had the same play. He'll give it in to Sartain, who's going to step up on slack, toss it off. Flannery's got it. He'll hustle for the three, toss it. No good. Raiders win. Mount Union escapes a home floor shocker. And right there, a foul call that would have sent them to line for three gets canceled. And Colin Gurley plays a complete 40 minutes for the Purple Raiders. He had 22, but I think what Coach Fueline really wanted from him was defense.
Yeah, he definitely performed outside and went on the floor. Just the defense factor. I think he was the most consistent out there with the defense and as well as offense, which you both need. And I think that was behind Fueline's thoughts.
88-85, your Purple Raiders walk away winners today. Devontae Friga, 27 points off the bench. He's your WRMU player of the game. Coming up, the Raiders take on Ohio Northern. Ohio Northern on Saturday. They'll be home against Muskingum, home against Otterbein after that. So a good couple of games coming up, Jarrett, for the Raiders. But again, a big one tonight to hang with it and finish.
Yeah, it was a great win for the Raiders, as now they are 10-1 in the OAC, as well as just getting over this rival of John Carroll. Just it always boosts spirits to win.
Yeah, and so John Carroll, again, a team that really desperately wanted to stay tight in the OAC, going to take the loss today. Again, folks, Colin Gurley played all 40 minutes tonight for Mount Union. It sounded like the women just won in University Heights, so a big night for the Raiders. Jarrett, final thoughts from a big Wednesday night win?
Very back-to-back game, as a lot of the play was just score here for Mount and then score there for John Carroll. It was just back and forth, just all-time scoring. It was a crazy game, very highly contested, very physical in a way.
All right, again, we appreciate everybody tuning in. 91.1 WRMU and the Mount Union live stream. Remember, always a good day for basketball, but it is always a good day to be a Raider.